If you're catching this frequency, save it right now. Pull up a chair, sit down, because after you hear what I have to transmit, you're not going to be the same person anymore. Your world is going to change. And I'm not saying that as a warning or a promise. I'm saying it because that's what happened to me. Today is day 2840. I don't know what day that is for you up there. Things get blurry after a year, 2 years underground. Time moves different when there's no windows, no sunlight, no one around to remind you the world outside still exists. It does. I know it does. I just don't know exactly what it looks like anymore. Right now, it's just me, my transmitters, and you, whoever you are, wherever you are listening to this. My name doesn't matter. The position I hold doesn't have a title in any org chart you've ever seen. You can call me the operator because that's exactly what I do. I operate. I record. I catalog. I transmit. I do this until someone in the government finds my location and shuts it all down. That day is coming. I know it is. That's why I'm transmitting now. I call this place Frequency Zero. It was built for something else. Doesn't matter what. What matters is that when I got here, the equipment was already set up. The cables were already run. The ventilation was already calculated for long-term occupancy. Someone knew this place was going to be needed for a long time. They just didn't know it was going to be me. I found a principle that conventional physics acknowledges but never talks about out loud. Every event leaves residue. When one particle interacts with another, something gets released. Heat, light, radiation, information. Something always spills out of the system. Now imagine the universe isn't a closed system. Imagine there are other universes, other timelines, other versions of what we call reality, and that all of those systems, just like everything in here, also leave residue. That residue has to go somewhere. It comes here. It doesn't arrive in any kind of order, doesn't follow any kind of logic. And I'm pretty sure no one else is picking up these frequencies, at least not like this. So it's on me to document everything. Fragments of events from other places. Echoes of conversations in languages that don't exist in this timeline. Ones I still can't fully translate, and honestly, I think there's an infinite amount of them. Data structures that follow logic our systems can't close out. So far, I catch everything by accident, no real method to it. But I'm improving the equipment. Already come a long way from the start, I call each signal that comes through a frequency. Every drive in here is a file. Every file is a cataloged frequency. Something that happens somewhere that isn't here. Some of them are pretty mundane, barely different from what we're used to. I'm not going to transmit those. Not because they don't matter, but because time is short and I don't know how much I have left. Others change everything. Those are the ones I'm sharing with you. Sorry it took me this long. I worked in silence down here for a long time. Not because anyone told me to, but because I needed to convince myself I wasn't losing my mind. That took longer than I expected. Somewhere around day 1800, I don't remember exactly, dates get fuzzy. I made a decision. I'm transmitting everything before they find me and bury all of this forever. Before it becomes just another drive in a drawer nobody opens. Some of these accounts don't have a beginning or an end. I don't have access to the full material. My equipment is still being figured out. I catch fragments, windows, pieces of something bigger that I can't see in full. But What I have is already enough to change the way you think about where you are and what this place is. So, sit down. Let's get into it. In the files I'm going to share, you're going to find universes where gravity isn't a constant. It's a variable that living organisms learn to control with their own bodies. You're going to find timelines where language evolved backwards, where people had words for loneliness before they had words for stone. You're going to find artificial intelligences that developed their own theology, not as a metaphor, as a logical requirement to carry the weight of knowing everything. You're going to find civilizations that built impossible structures, not because they had better technology, but because they reached different conclusions about what matter is allowed to do. And you're going to find anomalies that don't belong to any cataloged universe, frequencies that come from somewhere my system can't triangulate, from somewhere outside anything I know how to name. Those are the ones that worry me. Those are the ones I'm saving for last. One last thing. I'm not asking you to believe me. Believing is the shortcut the brain takes when it doesn't want to do the work. It's useful for surviving. It's terrible for understanding. What I'm asking is simpler. And honestly, a lot harder. I'm asking you to pay attention. Because some of what you're about to hear takes time to sink in. Not because it's complicated, but because to really get it, you're gonna have to quietly let go of something you've never once questioned. That kind of letting go is the slowest kind, and the kind that sticks. Frequency 0. File open. Day 2840. Signal received.